Okay, hello Isabel, we've got Carol, Delise, Brooke. Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me and see the screen. If you can go in the chat and just say thumbs up or yes we can, that'd be great. Good, thank you. So I don't know if I said it properly, but Delise Carter, thank you, and Isabel, thanks very much, really appreciate that. Just wait a couple of minutes and give one or two others a chance to get in. We've got quite a few registered. So we'll go from there, and I'll start in about 5 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed today, and I hope you get something out of it. I'm looking forward to present. It's one of my pet subjects. I really enjoy talking about social selling. So hopefully some of that rubs off today, and that enthusiasm all rubs off onto you guys, and you all go forward and start adopting some of the strategies we'll talk about. First time using Webinar Jam, so bear with me. I think we should be right. Had one or two goes at it, so I'm sure we'll be all right. Okay, we've got a few more coming, and Graham's here, and John. Welcome, guys. Just wait a couple more minutes and we'll get started. While we're waiting, maybe you can put in the chat, and we'll talk a bit more about this during the session, but when you put in the chat, what do you know about social selling? Well, more importantly, let's play a bit of a game. What do you think today is going to be about? You probably read the blurb on this, so let's see, what do you think today is going to be about? And let's see who gets closest to the pin. Good on you, Isabel. Yes, I know what it's like when you teach online. You just want to sit there and listen. Yes, marketing. Okay. Yep. Thanks. Marketing via social media. Yep. Good. Yep. It does go have elements of marketing. Yep. It does. And we'll touch a bit about that. Yes. Yep. Growing your business. Growing your brand, growing awareness of who you are, and of course, hopefully, that will lead to growing your business. That's what the ultimate aim is, and that's what we'll talk about. Growing your brand, growing your awareness, making sure people identify you as the go-to person, and what that means is they will remember you and go to you when they need your services. So that's what it's all about. Yes, Elise, well done. That's really good. That's exactly right. How to influence and connect. We'll talk a bit about thought leadership. We'll talk about connecting, how to do it in the right way. With COVID, I've noticed it's really gotten out of hand lately, and some of the connections I'm getting are just mind-boggling. I'm sure you guys get them too. So I'll show you one or two little case studies that I've adopted and how I do it. I'm not saying it's perfect. I've had some success, and I'm sure you'll have some success the way you do it. Okay, so if you have any issues connecting, we've got Francisco online too, so we can always get him to come on if we need him for any connection issues. I'm assuming most of you are okay. You're interacting with me. You're talking to me. Look, it's gone 5 past the hour. Let's get started, and that way we'll have some time at the end for some questions. I'll just have a last drink of water. Hopefully you can see me and hear me, and let's go. So I'll just start the slide deck. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for coming to today's session, The Art of Social Selling. Suppose you hear things like the art of, you think, oh, well, something special. I just couldn't think of a better title, so I thought, oh, well, what do we think? Art of Social Selling. I believe there's a book of that title anyway out there by Kiyosaki, I think his name is. If I got it right. But anyway, I'm not adopting copyright any of his content. I just use the same sort of name. My name is Con Sotidis, and we're here on behalf of the Melbourne Innovation Centre and ASBAS. Hopefully you're all members of ASBAS, and you're tapping into the various opportunities and sessions they have. So let's talk a little bit about ASBAS, Digital Solutions. I've been a member now for about nearly a year and a half now, going into a year and a half. Really great initiative done by the Australian Government and the Melbourne Innovation Centre for us here in Victoria. I know there's others around the state who are also, around the country, who also tap into this. Range of workshops similar to this one, and you've probably been on a couple of others. So quite a few out there that are really good and all about helping you and assisting you into getting online and creating an effective business, an online effective business. There's workshops, there's webinars, and of course, please tap into that mentoring that's available to you. And you can always go into the ASBAS site and get more information on that. So hopefully you're all part of that. Is there any more coming in? Okay. Let's move along to the next slide. Who am I? My name is Con Sotidis, and the social selling warrior is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek there. I've been in social media for a long, long time, and also on doing a lot of sales and business development on social media for a long, long time. My background is in, I was an accountant by trade, then moved into HR and moved into the learning and development space. So I'm a trainer facilitator by background, by trade. Done quite a few things, then moved into sales roles and have since adopted social media. And specifically today we talk about LinkedIn in advocating and creating a brand for myself, a strong brand that's also supported me to acquire new opportunities, but more importantly, generate leads and potential sales for the people I work for and myself. I've been in business on my own for a number of years, and just more recently I moved into a permanent role. I suppose with COVID, it was pretty hard last year for a lot of us. So I eventually got lucky and picked up a permanent role and took it with both hands, given we had a very lean 2020, and but still very passionate about social selling. Social Selling Warrior is a monogram or a handle I'm using on Clubhouse. And if you're not on Clubhouse, I would suggest you think about Clubhouse. It is the newest platform available. Sadly, it's only available for Android, not Android, so for iOS users. And Android, I believe now heard is coming this month. So hit me up on LinkedIn if you want to know more about Clubhouse. It is a good platform for people to advocate their services, create a brand, and it works in tandem with your Insta accounts, your Twitter, and LinkedIn. Integration is coming very soon. That's enough on Clubhouse, but that's why I want to tell you about Social Selling Warrior. That's what I am on Clubhouse, and Social Selling is my handle on Clubhouse. That's where I am. So extensive business development experience and quite a bit in my own business. Okay, time for you to tell us in the chat. Tell us your name, or I can see your name. Tell us a bit about your business. What do you do? And we've had a bit of a chat already, but for those who've joined more recently, what do you want to get out of today's session? So let's have a bit of an interaction on the chat, and we'll go from there. So I know Isabel talked before about being an influencer, marketing and social media. Delise talked about how to influence to connect with others. But is there anything specific you want to get out of it now that you know a bit more about who I am and my background? Is there any other aspects you want to cover? It's going to be focused on a lot of LinkedIn. Well, LinkedIn is the main vehicle that I use for social selling. And a lot of the things we do talk about can be adopted on the other platforms, on Instagram and on Twitter. But specifically, I will focus on LinkedIn. Okay, great. Business insurance broker, great. Yes, business insurance, very, very good platform, LinkedIn, to use for that. Okay, dance and movement workshops, Isabel. Yep, good. I think there is opportunity for on LinkedIn, although maybe some of your tribe may live on other platforms. I think there's great opportunities for that. Amber, career coaching, definitely LinkedIn, and definitely that's where your tribe lives. A lot of leadership coaches, a lot of other topic coaches, personal coaches, fitness coaches, but also more in the business sense on LinkedIn, and doing very well. And that's why I also recommend for you to consider Clubhouse. There's quite a few of those type of people on Clubhouse too. E-commerce business, good. That's great. E-commerce, definitely an opportunity there. Best platform to use. John, again, I'll be focused on LinkedIn. For me, that platform was giving me the results I've desired in my business. I'm not a big Insta fan, but then again, I'm not saying it's not suitable for many other people's businesses. I just don't do it because, like I say, the tribe that I work to, or the tribe that I service, does not live on Instagram. And we'll talk a little bit about later on about your ideal customer profile. And once you've done that, you can then hone in on what particular platform that particular tribe of yours lives on. Okay, I want to gain more confidence about being online for connecting with clients, individuals, students, but once in B2B. That's right, Isabel. That's what it's all about. You'll gain a bit of confidence. I'll show you some methods that I use and adopt to create a bit of a brand without much effort, in fact, just by interacting and connecting and commenting. Then you start creating a bit of awareness about yourself. So in this session, you go through, you're focusing on LinkedIn and how to develop a profile. Once you develop your profile, how do you start connecting? And once you start connecting, how do you then start interacting and commenting? And then how do you start educating, what I call educating, and set yourself up as a thought leader for your brand or your business. And from there, taking those connections. We never sell on the platform. I don't believe in selling on any platform. You take those connections and you take them offline and move them into an offline conversation. Hopefully with COVID subsided, we can have those face-to-face coffee meetings now, and we can have those conversations. So the aim is to create a brand, create an awareness, create a thought leadership perspective for people to identify you as the person they need to talk to, take that offline in a conversation, whether email, phone, Zoom, and maybe hopefully face-to-face, and then create the opportunity to sell to them in an offering you've got on for them. Could be a course, it could be some consultancy, it could be some dance lessons, whatever the case may be. PubMate, advertising platform for pubs, encouraging community connection to benefit both parties. Oh, that's a great idea. Well, I hope that goes well for you, Brooke. That's very interesting. Okay, thanks for that. Let's move back into the slides. Hopefully a couple of things you talked about there we'll cover. I'm not going to be able to look at the chat quite a lot, so what I'll do is, if you can save your questions to the end, and I'll answer those at the end, because the way the system works, focusing on the slides, the chat's not very visible to me. So I'm going to be hopefully looking at that at the end. I'll scan through and see what questions there are, but if I do miss them, please keep your questions to the end and I'll address them, and I'm happy to stay on a bit longer if we have time. Okay, let's go into it. All right, the art of social selling. We know what we're here for, what we're here about. Let's look at that and see what it means more specifically. So what we're going to cover, and one of the questions that came through the audience was that, so we're going to talk about how to develop a stronger brand and profile. We're going to talk about how you take that and create a grown, large, focused, evangelical community of potential customers. Your fans, call it your fan base. And then from there, taking those fans and creating warm leads by moving them from social onto an offline meeting. Coffee, Zoom, whatever. And then the aim is your skills come into the play where you start taking those fans and converting them into leads and opportunities. Each one of you got specific skills and you'll know your areas of expertise. Each one knows how to position yourself when it comes to that one-on-one conversation with a client. My aim today is to create that awareness and that lead gen funnel for you that you can then take those conversations to the next level. So that's what we'll cover today. Okay, so let's look at, you're probably all aware of how big social media is. It's important to put a bit of perspective in place when we're talking about social media and what it can do for us. And there we are, July last year. We can see social media use versus population. In the Oceania region, we can see 56% there. We are very high users in the Oceania region. Australia is known to be an early adopter of a lot of technologies. The iPhone was more quickly adopted here in Australia than anywhere else in the world. So we are very much in tune with technology. We are very much in tune with platforms that we do embrace them very quickly. And we can see we have a decent sort of population base to work with. If we look more specifically about social media and branding, we start seeing some interesting demographics here about the type of individuals that are using social media. And we'll see there that within that infographic there, we have the 25 to 34-year-olds and the 35 to 44-year-olds are the biggest users. And that's obvious. We know that because the younger people love their social media and technology. But we're also starting to see here the 55 to 64-year-olds, which is really interesting statistic to look at. I would say probably 5 to 6 years ago, that would have been half, maybe even less. That's really increased dramatically. And we're also seeing the baby boomers here, the 45 to 54-year-olds, also embracing technology and using social media for brand research. Remember, these are the people that are going out looking for the brand. The percentage of internet users who use social media when they are looking for more information about brands. And that leads us to the next conversation, which is around the modern buyer. People are educated about what they're looking for. They know what they want before they even come to you in the first place. 51% of the buyers do extensive research before even contacting the seller. They know what they want, and they want it now. They're 21 more times likely to enter the sales process when they've been contacted within 5 minutes. How interesting is that? So you get someone connect with you on LinkedIn, or they commented on you or looked at your profile. If you connect with them within the first 5 to 10 minutes, or if you're overseas and maybe as soon as possible, they're more likely to start doing business with you because you've shown attention to them. They value content, and we'll talk a bit about content later on. Quality content is very important when the buyer is doing some research and has a significant impact on the buyer decision. And they love a buyer experience. They are experience driven. You give them a great experience and they will buy from you. In fact, 30% more are willing to pay for superior buying experience. Now, these are probably facts and stats you've already seen and aware of. But I'm just using these to put this all in perspective to you, and we start talking about how you start using something like LinkedIn and keeping these things in the back of your mind. Chief Marketer did a survey, and we are focusing a lot today on B2B, but like I said, a lot of these things do apply to B2C. And for those who are not familiar with the term, B2B is business to business, B2C is business to consumer. You can see that in 2019, it wasn't that far long ago, the most effective social channels for your brand as chosen by the survey recipients was LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I think Instagram is probably now taken off a lot more. I'm noticing that's really booming at the moment. I don't think it's at the stage of LinkedIn, but I think it's definitely surpassed Twitter. Twitter's become more of a social platform where people use more for commentary, political commentary, and other causes, and not as much for business. That's what I'm noticing, and I could be wrong. Must be the people I'm following. Again, you see LinkedIn is the top channel for brand and brand awareness. I'll just pause there. I'll have a look at the chat so quickly to see if there's anything coming through there. Nope. Good. Okay. Good. I just keep moving the slides. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, what is social selling? Now, social selling is one of those terms that's thrown around quite a bit. And it's been used a number of times to describe a number of things. And there's never going to be a very accurate, I suppose, definition. But LinkedIn has gone away in trying to articulate, define what this is. What they've said is that they base it on 4 pillars. Establishing a professional brand, that is having your profile complete with the customer in mind, we'll talk about that soon, and to start becoming a thought leader. Finding the right people, that is not only who you're sending connection requests to, but who are you receiving them from? How are you receiving those, and how are you connecting with them? Also using search filters in LinkedIn to be able to identify the right people. Again, we'll talk a bit about the ideal customer profile soon. Engaging with insights. I call that educating. Engaging with insights about creating some content, but also sharing some content, curating content and sharing it with your people, with your connections, with your followers. And that establishes you as a thought leader and also grows relationships. And of course, build a relationship, strengthen that relationship, meet them online, have a conversation, and taking that offline into a potential opportunity and sale. And these are the 4 pillars that LinkedIn uses to also determine your score. We'll look at that later on. It's called the Social Selling Index, and they base it on these 4 particular pillars. So we'll look at the audience overview in Australia for LinkedIn. We can see there's around, to January 2020, around 11 million LinkedIn users in Australia. We see the breakup of that, 45% female, 54% male, so it's pretty even split. And over 18 is 56%. So a majority of them are over 18 years old. Quite a big population to tap into. And remember this, there's a well-known statistic about LinkedIn, the 99-1 rule. 90% of LinkedIn users are lurkers, just looking the feed, reading. 9% interact. That is, they might comment, they might share, they might like. Only 1% of LinkedIn users create content or share content. And sharing and creating content is where you start positioning yourself as a thought leader and as someone they need to be aware of and that they can come to when they have a need. The 99-1 rule. When we look at LinkedIn in Australia again at January 2020, you can see LinkedIn is in Australia 27%. Now remember, this is about all platforms and it covers all demographics. So definitely YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp will be up there. And WhatsApp is very popular with our Asian population because they use WhatsApp and also WeChat. You can see WeChat there is also very popular. But you can see LinkedIn is not a slouch. It's really in a halfway mark there. So it is a very actively used social media platform in conjunction with all the others. Okay, let's get to the crunch. Now this is where the rubber starts hitting the road. When it comes to social selling LinkedIn, I use a 3 E's approach. And I like taking these type of approaches because I think when you put things in 3's, people remember them and also can apply them a lot easier. There's an old adage that says that when you give people things in 3's, they're able to recall them much easier. So I've distilled it down into 3 concepts: embrace, engage, and educate. So pretty much self-explanatory. And we'll start looking at each one of those now. Embracing is about looking at the platform and starting to become active on it. Start to embrace it. And looking at your LinkedIn profile. As we saw, one of the things that LinkedIn rates you on is on building that profile. And they have various ratings of it. You can have an all-star profile where you completed all aspects of it. And it gives you some hints along the way as to how you can improve it. So when it comes to your profile, there's a couple of things we need to be aware of. First of all, we need a clear, high-resolution image of ourselves. No, look, it's up to you how you want to use your profile. It's up to you. It's your profile. It's your LinkedIn. But I would suggest no pictures of you at the last wedding, no pictures of you from a recent baptism or at a party you were at. Try to get into a studio. Try to get someone to take a nice, clear picture of yourself with your face. It's okay to smile. Don't always be serious. And place that on as a profile. People need to see who they're dealing with. And now with video becoming more and more popular, which we'll talk about soon, they can start hearing you too and seeing you in live. The other thing is on the top the banner there, include something about what you're doing. It could be your business logo. It could be something, a webinar you're about to run. Maybe it's you doing some dancing lessons. Maybe it's you promoting the pub initiative you have, or the latest pub gathering you're going to be organising. Try to change this banner at least once every 4 to 6 weeks. Because as people start looking at your profile, they'll notice a change. And they'll stop and they'll look. So the banner is important. Promote something. Your name, LinkedIn accepts names. Now, there was a while ago a bit of commentary around putting a widget or some sort of animation in between, or some sort of icon, emoji in between your name. LinkedIn has cracked down on that. They don't like that. It's a breach of the terms of service. So they just now prefer full names. And now this is the most important part of all. You need to optimize your headline to be able to be found by search engines, but also who you help and why and how you help them. So I see with mine, experienced, results-focused business development professional. So talking about my background, got some authority, results-focused, I get results, I'm able to deliver results. Business development professional, so I'm in the sales game. Listen and develop. So I listen and then help you develop solutions that deliver results. So I've got results there twice. I'm hoping that gets picked up by the various search engines, and that way it identifies me as a results-based person. More recently, I'm working with a standards and legislation organisation called SIO Global. So I'll put that in there as well. Makes it easier for it to be found by the search engine. There's my hashtag when I share content on LinkedIn, which is pertaining to social selling. I will use that hashtag, and I'll also put in my Clubhouse there, because Clubhouse is now integrating a lot more with LinkedIn. In the past, I used to have my Twitter handle in there. Now I've got social selling on Clubhouse. You can also, some people put a call to action there. They might put their phone number in there and say, call me to discuss further. You can do things like that. Look, there's no perfect profile headline. The aim is to just be clear about what you do and how you help other people achieve what they want to achieve. Hopefully that helps out, and it picks up your latest. So you have to say you're working for this organisation, because it already picks up who you're working for. So people there, some people have got their senior executive, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't help anyway. Tell me how you're helping me. Tell me what you do, how you help people, what you deliver. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Next, we have our About section. And the About section, just going to go, here we are. Yep. Oh, yeah, just one bonus tip before I go further on. They've recently adopted on the mobile app only. You can't do it on desktop. On the mobile app, they've got this little sound icon, microphone icon here, where you can click on it and create a bit of, it's supposed to use to pronounce your name. What I say is you've got 10 seconds there. It doesn't take you 10 seconds to pronounce your name. Use it to also talk a bit about yourself. So if you go into my profile on LinkedIn, you can click on that and you'll get also to hear my name, but also what else I do. Business development executive and social media trainer. Let's go back and look at some of the chat window, what you guys did. So you can say, I'll say, what was it? Brooke Pannett, PubMate consultant and community connector. Something along those lines. So use that 10 seconds to promote yourself in voice. And people click on that, they can hear your voice straight on your profile. Now, we are seeing some new developments happening on LinkedIn soon, where they're going to be able to do some video on your profile. It's going to be rolled out slowly. I've been hearing about it the last couple of days. I've not got it yet, but once that becomes available, you'll be able to do a little video screenshot of on your profile. Okay, so there's some examples. So who else we got? So let's see if we can find one. Delise Carter, Strengths Coach. Say your name, Strengths Coach, working to help you build more effective and stronger teams, or resilient teams, or something along those lines. Use those 10 seconds wisely. You can record it and re-record it until you're happy with it. And then people will start to get to hear it, but also hear your voice about what you do. Very, very powerful indeed. The About section. Now, the About section is also where you get to talk a bit more about yourself. There is a particular view, there is contrary views in relation to how you write the About section. Some say you write it in the third person. Some say you write in the first person. I don't sit on the fence on many things. I'm pretty much black and white. I say write it in the first person. It's about you. So write it about you. So with over 25 years focused on senior strategic learning development, so this when I was a bit old, but had a learning development, I am well positioned to advise business and government on all aspects of learning development. I am well positioned. Okay, then you talk about what you did. So social selling consultant, practicing what I preach. I'm very active on social media, have been nominated top 11 L&D tweeters in Australia, as well as being judged #1 blog for the following top 15 international HR blogs for 2015. So write about yourself. And this also gets some SEO love, but not as much as your profile. Make it easy to read about career experience. Tell a personal story. You can even write here about how you've helped someone or an organisation succeed at something. Write it in here. Give a bit of a small case study. Why not take the opportunity to do that? Even comment about what other people have said about you. I know we've got that later on. Talk about, here's a snippet of feedback I've received. It's all about you. And it's a section that's available to you to talk about yourself. A bit of time, good, just running okay, good. One area that is very rarely used, I've seen with most people's profiles, is the featured section. Now, the featured section is a great piece of real estate that LinkedIn gives you in order to promote and advertise things that are pertaining to yourself personally. Certificates, achievements, speaking engagements. You can see the ones I've got there, graduated from a social media manager school. My certificate of membership for an organisation I belong to. So if you're positioning yourself as a careers coach and you've got some HR qualifications or you've done your masters in career coaching, put it up there. You've got accreditation from the International Coaching Federation, put it up there. Put it as a feature. Let people know the accreditations you've got, the successes you've undertaken. You can even put videos. You can put a lot of different media. You can even put a PDF there, maybe of your resume that people can download. That's again, if you're looking for a job. You could put in the latest invite to your pub connection. You could put an invite there to your next webinar that people can see and read and download. Again, add to this as you go along as much as possible. Very rarely used, and it's a really powerful part of LinkedIn where people can go in there and have a look at some featured aspects of your profile. And all this, guys, is about creating a profile that's going to create awareness and it's going to create a brand for you that people remember to say, yep, I know him, I know her. She was qualified in this or he was qualified in that. He advertised a particular webinar. I might go back and have a look at it. It's all about embedding that in people's mind for them to recall you when they need to. The last part of the profile that I want to talk about is around recommendations. Now, recommendations is unique on LinkedIn. Everywhere else on LinkedIn, you talk about yourself in your profile, in your about section, in your featured. This is the only place on LinkedIn where someone else talks about you. They call this in the trade the social proof to your business, the social proof to your brand. Recommendations are so important to any brand. Whether you be an entrepreneur, whether you be in a particular paid employment, whether you be a freelancer, whether you're a part-timer, whether just someone who's just on LinkedIn as a hobby. Someone talking about you and how you've helped them is very, very powerful. So there could be ex-colleagues, there could be people you've worked with on projects and so forth. Now you can see there, all you've got to do is click on that, ask for a recommendation and hit someone up and tell them, hey, George, we did some work with you 6 months ago. Can we get a recommendation, please? You find most people, if you've left them with a good sort of memory and done some great work with them, will provide you a recommendation. A recommendation is a bit like getting a reference. Yeah, of course, they're going to say, can you give us one too? That's okay. The strategy I use in that is if I receive one, I won't give them one for 3 to 4 months later because I don't want them to be seen as a payback straight away for what I've received. So it's a bit of just giving a bit of a time delay, wait 3, 4, 5 months, and then say, yep, I'll do one for you now. It's just a bit of a tactic that it's all about perceptions. Remember, brand awareness is all about perception, how people perceive you and what you put out there. So if they want one back, say, yep, I will. I'll put in my diary. I'll give you one in 3 or 4 months' time because it's probably more suitable and appropriate that I do it then. Again, you can see there, I followed Con's work for years. He has the unique ability to curate and express industry insights that really hit the mark. I'm known in the industry of what was an L&D for sharing content and insights that others weren't able to tap into, identifying interesting content that they would embrace. Con is a passionate person working to improve learning experiences. In the business side, I was pleased to work with Con. His knowledge and understanding of all things L&D is amazing. I recommend him to any future employer. I'd have to say more recommendations is what got me my recent job and also got me the one before that. LinkedIn has a job tool, does work, but LinkedIn has also as a sales tool, does also work. Depends how you want to use it and how you want to position yourself on the platform. I'll just take a break there. I'll have a look at the chat. Is there anything coming through? Have a bit of a drink of water. Interesting, LinkedIn is rated higher than FB. Yes, it is, Graham. I think when it comes to business, it is rated higher than FB. Was there anything else? Let me just see, scan up. How to get this on LinkedIn? You Gashra, you got there. How to get this on LinkedIn? Was there anything particular that I missed? That other question. Maybe I'll leave that to the end. We can talk about that one at the end. Okay. All right, guys. Hopefully you're finding it interesting. We'll keep moving along. If you have any more, put them in there. I'll stop every now and again and have a look at the chat. Otherwise, I'll just keep plugging along and moving into the next part. And this is all about the profile. So the one thing you don't want to do is this. And this is an actual profile out there. It's an actual true profile of someone out there. As you can see, a picture like that is not going to get you much traction, but also staff SRE at Google. Look, I don't know if it's a false one. It's gone around, done a few of the traps, probably gone by now, but that was actually out on LinkedIn for quite a while. I don't think a gun dressed up as a monkey is going to get you much business, to be honest. But anyway, that's the extreme, all right? That is a very extreme. I'm not sure none of you would do that, but that's what kind of use LinkedIn as a professional platform. It's not Facebook, it's not your Twitter, it's not Instagram. It's a professional networking platform which supports you in job acquisition and also sales and lead generation. It's got a dual function, depending which way you want to use it and which way you want to position yourself. There's also the other free real estate. If LinkedIn is giving you free real estate, take advantage of it. Again, it's a matter of how you want to use it, but there is a company page. So everyone who creates a profile on LinkedIn can also create a company page. And that's mine there. I used it. I didn't use it extensively, but if you're going to create a company page, and it's very good to have one because people see you as an individual. Personally, I think people see you as a brand, as an individual. They then see you as part of a business organization or company. So where you're an entrepreneur, you've got your individual profile, create also a company page for your business. But if you're going to do that, make sure you keep it active and also post from that and have content on that that you share, and invite people to like your page. Invite people to come to this company page of yours. All right. I don't cover too much on company pages in this session because it's an entirely separate session about how you do it. But a lot of the things that we're going to talk about do pertain to the company page. Do create one. It's free. Whenever they give you something for free, you might as well use it and activate it and go from there. So as you can see, about a couple of months ago, I had 86 followers. It's built up to about 150 now, but it's always building up as we go along. Important to use it. Take advantage of it. But having said that, if you're going to do it, make sure you put some effort into making it consistent and making it also a page that people can get some information from. And use it in tandem with your own personal profile. Okay, let's move now into the next part, which is engaging. So we talked about embracing. We're now going to move into engaging, which is connecting and interacting. What we do with this one, just going to move to the next slide if I can, just try and find the mouse, there it is. Engaging, it's about, remember, identifying the right people to connect with. It's using that search filter that is available to you in LinkedIn to hone in and search for your ideal customer. So one of the first things you will need to do is, even before you start doing a search here, is maybe get a note, get a bit of a piece of paper and start identifying what your ideal customer looks like. What industry are they in? What level? Are they a director? Are they going to be a VP? Are they going to be a sole practitioner? What geography you're going to target? Start developing an ideal customer profile based on all that criteria, as in who do you want to target? Who's your ideal customer? Especially with LinkedIn, it's going to be someone in business. But you can use the same aspects, the same process when you're looking to do it on Facebook or on Instagram. Where they're located, what they look like, what age group are they in, are they male, are they female, do they have particular interests, do they engage on LinkedIn a lot, do they not engage on LinkedIn a lot, the location, there's so much there you can choose from. Once you identify who they are, you start then connecting with them and start making some more meaningful connections with them. So when you connect with them, look for a conversation starter. Hi, Mary. Saw you posted on LinkedIn yesterday about an issue you had with Telstra. We support people in issue resolution. We'd love to talk to you about how we can help you understand how to resolve this issue. That's just off the top of my head. But use a conversation starter in order to create a connection. Find a common theme. Could be the same industry. Could be old schoolmates. Went to school, the same university. What you must do, buddy, is don't use automation. Automation is banned by LinkedIn and is a breach of the terms of use, especially when LinkedIn starts seeing you having 50 to 100 connection requests a day. They start thinking, hold on, something's going on here. They're using automation, and they'll put a restriction on your account. So when connecting, put yourself in their shoes. Would they read your message? Would they read the message you've sent them? So pretend you're receiving that message. Would you read that message, or would you connect with someone? And remember, the whole idea of all that LinkedIn and engagement is to move the conversation offline. So they're going to connect with you and interact with you. You also want to be able to take them offline to further conversation. Try to engage with at least 10 to 20 new people each week, connecting, sending out requests. Personal, not automated, personal requests, 10 to 20 per week is an ideal way to build up your brand. Okay, here's an example. So this is me reaching out to someone I believe has a need for our services. This is like we might say cold call. Instead of cold calling, a cold invitation to connect. Hi, Frank. Thank you for connecting. I'm anticipating they will connect. I work for a company called SI Global. We've recently completed our recent white paper on how to successfully secure the rights standard management platform for your organization. I would love to send you a copy, as I think you'll get a lot of value out of it. Talk about who you work for. It's very important to know who you are, where you're coming from. Use their first name. Talk about something you've done recently. We recently had some success with Company X in their return on investment on marketing. Would love to talk to you about how we did that and how we can do the same for you. We've recently won a project focusing on mental health. We'd love you to come on board with us and be part of the initial rollout. Always seek permission to do something, but I'd love to send you a copy. I'm seeking permission to send them a copy of this white paper. I'd love to invite you to our next webinar. Seek permission. Once I've given you permission, the next response, of course, is to send them that invite. Get their email address, send an invite. Once you've got their email address and their name, bang, they're into your CRM database. You've got them as a potential client. And from there, you start engaging with them and interacting with them and moving that conversation to a potential sale. I'll give you an actual true life case study that happened to me and got me one of my biggest accounts ever in my business development. So Graham and I, we were sort of interacting for a while. We're in the same industry. And it was a while since we spoke. So we had connected, but I decided to re-engage again. Hi Graham, it's been a while since we spoke. I hope you're well. I just saw this on LinkedIn. What I did see on LinkedIn was that they acquired a new platform called LinkedIn Learning. Great to see you have it. I use it every day. Even though you may not really enjoy it, just make it sound positive. Make it sound like it's something great that they've ever done. Give them some feedback. Make them feel good. Be good to catch up again soon. P.S. Well done on your award. They've won an award, which means you're giving him more credibility and you're making him feel a lot better for him to reach out. Hi, Con. Yes, long time no speak. Let me know when your Docklands area, we'll catch up. I've got a new person in my team, and they'll be looking to do something with a learning management system. Let's have a chat. So Graham recalled that I was in this space because I'm doing a lot of posting content around learning management systems, and then reached out to me and said, I'd have someone now looking at this. Can we have a chat and have a look at it? No problem, Graham. Love to show Janet and yourself, etc. In fact, it's been upgraded to a new, shinier version. So then from there, we moved into an offline conversation. I did a demo. I did a proposal, and within a matter of months, I'd secured one of the biggest accounts in the company's history. It does work. Reach out, connect, stay in touch, keep on engaging. It does work, and it has worked for me, and it'll work for you. It's a matter of tweaking it and refining it to make it work for you. The other thing about connecting is about engaging. And once you're known for something or have got an opinion on something, people will actually tag you in and ask for your thoughts on something. This is something that happened recently. There was a post around how Clubhouse and what needs to be changed on Clubhouse. So what happened there was this person, Mac, decided that this conversation is something that Con has already expressed a bit of passion about. He's expressed some knowledge about. So I said, Con, what do you think of this? I wrote back, I think it's a great move by LinkedIn. It was about LinkedIn developing its own Clubhouse, by the way. My biggest frustration with Clubhouse at the moment is the lack of integration with LinkedIn. So, one, individual knows that I'm passionate about the topic, I've got something to say, tags me in, I respond, and also, by the way, at the bottom, I thank you for the tag and for coming to me for an opinion. And that's the way you also create some brand awareness. Because you're passionate about something and post about particular topics, people will associate you with that topic and come to you for an opinion. So by him coming to me for an opinion, I got 5 new followers, 5 new connection requests just by that one post, because people saw that Mac regarded me as someone who had knowledge in this space. Hopefully that's all making sense. We'll just stop and look at the chat. Has anyone got any thoughts or questions at this stage? Okay, let's move along. The one good way of engaging and what we're looking for on platforms, any platform, is social listening triggers. Social listening triggers are where someone has posted they've been successful in something, or they've acquired a new project, or they've embarking on a new career. One major social trigger that I use, and I've got Sales Navigator, which is expensive. I'm not saying you have to get it. I'm not here to promote Sales Navigator. It is very expensive, but it gives you one or two extra little things you can do. Is I monitor and track my network to see who's changed jobs, and it tells me when someone's acquired a new job. Now, 90% of people that go to a new job have a manager to deliver a particular aspect in that new job. They've been brought on board to do something and do something within the next 12 to 18 months. Most people. By then being asked to do something in 12, 18 months of their new tenure, that means they also allocated some resources, some funding. So what a great way to reach out to someone who's got a new job. Hey, Mary, congratulations on becoming director of XYZ. Great company to work for based on what I've heard about them. I'd love to hear what you're doing over the next couple of months and any challenges you are facing. That's how I connect. So it's people I already know that I know they've got a new role. That's one sort of social listening trigger. Another social listening trigger I use is I subscribe to various tender link sites. That is, people that have acquired new projects. So company X has been awarded a new project, and because I'm selling standards and building codes and building standards, I focus on new companies that acquire new building projects. So where they've applied for tenders, and by law, anyone's gone for a tender is the successful tenderee who's been allocated the project has got to be published on most of them anyway. So recently, congratulations on your project. Hello, Chris. Oh, this is via LinkedIn email. Want to congratulate you on that, on your recent project. Look at the plans, looks like an awesome project. So again, giving them some credibility. Tell them how good it looks. As you're aware though, the biggest challenge building companies like yours do face is a confirmation to relevant building codes. Now I'm telling about where I fit into this picture. The easiest way to follow the performance requirements of the building code is by complying to the standards. I'll attach the information, provide some background on this, but also know what's in it for him. I would be keen to show you and your team how you can manage this effectively and efficiently within a platform that makes standards accessible to all in your company, effectively and efficiently. Wow. So this guy's going to show me a cheaper way of I can tap into standards that's available to all in my organization. Why wouldn't I call him? Then the last one. How do you place next Monday? So make sure you give them a call to action next Monday for a 30-minute call. I know some of this stuff, guys, is teaching you how to do sales, and I'm not here to teach you how to do sales. What I'm just showing you is the kind of emails I share when I'm looking for those social listening triggers. So always read posts where someone's acquired a new job or they're moving into a new role. We've got people here that are coaches, that are into leadership coaches or success coaching. People that are moving to new jobs will need some coaching down the line as they grapple with the new challenges they face. Keep that in mind as you keep reading and tracking your feed and connecting with people and seeing what are some of the social triggers. Read the newspapers. What company? I mean, we know aged care got a hammering at the recent Aged Care Royal Commission. What a great opportunity to reach out to aged care clients that you maybe have an interest to work with and offer them some of your services with the backdrop of the Royal Commission. If you're into finance, brokerage, the Banking Royal Commission, with so much information there for brokers and finance people to use, even insurance brokers, I know we've got one online, to use as a catalyst for connection and talking about how you can support them to make their life easier. At the end of the day, it's helping them sleep easy at night. And by listening to social triggers and engaging on LinkedIn and taking them about yourself, it's one step. Because what they do next, and what this person did here, this Chris guy, he went and looked at my profile and looked at it again and looked at it again and looked at it again. Now, this only happened 2 days ago. I've not had a call back from him, but what I'll do now is I'll continue the engagement by other means. I'll pick up the phone and give him a call. Or I'll use another cadence. I might use an email. I use email address, connect with him. But he's seen me on LinkedIn. He knows I've come from LinkedIn. He'll remember me from LinkedIn. As you can see, guys, I'm very passionate about this. So hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. All right, educate. And this is all about adding value to your network. How are we going for time? Okay, we've got a bit of time. Good. Now, when you educate on LinkedIn, there's a number of ways we do that. And LinkedIn gives us a number of opportunities to do that. And we can see that by, when we go to our profile, there is articles, posts, and documents. That's the 3 types of ways you can create or share content. And we'll talk a little bit about this. And this is where it is important, very, very important, to use this very effectively, but also it's a very powerful aspect of LinkedIn. This is where you create your brand. This is where you create that awareness of who you are. This is where people see your expertise, your knowledge. And this is where people start embracing you and valuing you for what you got to offer. The profile is great. It puts you out there. The connections are great. It starts making you known to people and you're starting to connect and find the right people. But when you start to educate, when you start to share, create and share content, that's where you really start making a difference. LinkedIn article is AKA a blog. So LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to blog on its platform. LinkedIn loves you to blog on their platform. LinkedIn encourages you to blog on their platform. In fact, LinkedIn will give your blog on their platform and the SEO will pick it up and will give it a lot more love than maybe blogging on a Medium or something else. There is a way of getting around if you blog on another platform. You don't have to say, go on to LinkedIn. What I've done in the past is where I've blogged on a different platform, whether it be WordPress or Medium or something like that. I'll put the blog on there and I've come to LinkedIn and I've put the first maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs and I say, to read more of this article, please go to the first comment. And then I'll post that. As soon as I post it, I go into the first comment and I create a link to the blog, to Medium, to WordPress, wherever my blog site is, even to my own website, where my blog resides. And it's good to put it to your own website because then people get to your website and you know what they do when they're on the website, they look at other things too. Now you notice I said there, put the first couple of paragraphs, then post that and then put your link in the comments. LinkedIn does not like people leaving their platform. That's why LinkedIn prefers you to do video on LinkedIn and not do them on YouTube and post a link. LinkedIn is all about keeping you on their platform, keeping you engaging on their platform, because the more you engage, the more the algorithm starts knowing what you're doing, who you're sharing, and what they're looking at as well. I put it in the comments. LinkedIn algorithm does not look at the comment and actually bypasses that, and people can then go into the comment and look at your full blog. But make sure you let people know for the full blog, please go to the first comments on this post. They can go in there and click and go to the blog. Just a little thing to keep in mind. It applies to a lot of things you do on LinkedIn. When you start putting links to external sites, LinkedIn will start to deteriorate that particular post. Always put them in the comments, and that way they will get more traction for you. Whether it be a video, whether it be a blog, whether it be a call to your website, anything you do. Now, I'm not saying I do that all the time. I have done it in the past, and I will do it every now and again. But where I really want to get some traction, I will put it in the comment. The next one here is around your posts. And these are what we call short form posts. So just be a post you put up on a daily basis. You know, like I said, I recommend you post 3 to 5 times a week. I try to post at least once or twice a day. That's an original post, but then I also do some commentary, some liking, some sharing, and so forth. But as some original content and some curated content, I would post 3 to 5 times a week. So a LinkedIn post is about putting in a post. Now for this one here, the example I've used is where I used to collate a daily list of jobs. And you notice I've got the links in there. That's okay because they're all links to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn likes those because they're all links to the LinkedIn jobs tab where they actually use that to promote jobs. So by me using the LinkedIn links, I used to get a lot of traction on this post because LinkedIn loves people staying on their platform. The other thing you notice with posts or anything you do on LinkedIn is hashtagging. Hashtagging is very, very powerful in creating an awareness so people can find you. A lot of people keep tabs on hashtags and they search for their content on hashtags. By having hashtags in your content becomes searchable and discoverable. Also having a unique hashtag. Now this one here, LD Jobs AUS, was unique, and a whole community formed around this one hashtag. Quite a few people started following that hashtag to be able to see what jobs were available in learning and development, and especially during COVID, it became very, very popular, and a whole community evolved around that. I had to give that up when I acquired my new role, but someone else picked it up and took on the mantle, which is great. So it's continuing to go forward. Other hashtags you might consider are unique hashtags to you. I have another one you would have seen in my post before in my profile, Con's curated content. So when I share some content, I put it out as Con's curated content. That way it's searchable. One, I can go back and find it because if I put a Con's curated content and search for it on LinkedIn, I can find it straight away. But people know it's my unique hashtag and they associate me with that. So I remember Con posted something. I wonder what it was. That's okay. All I've got to do is go search for hashtag Con's curated content and I can find it. So that's a few things on hashtags. Very powerful. There was an old research done that said 3 to 5. I think that's gone by the wayside. 3 to 5 hashtags per post. I try to use about 5 maximum if I can. I don't go more than that. People are putting 15, 20. I know on Instagram it's different. I believe it is different. On Instagram you can put as many as you want and they all get the traction. I believe in LinkedIn over about 5 that don't get as much traction. The other X amount don't get as much traction as what the first 5 do. So keep that in mind. Hey, it's about playing around with this stuff, trying it out, seeing how you go. Use a couple here, use a couple there, see what traction your posts are getting, see what kind of views they're getting, and so forth. It's all good stuff, and we're all learning on this, and no one's an expert, and don't let anyone tell you they're an expert on LinkedIn. We're all learning. We all do things our own way, and we get successes our own way. What we do is we share those ways with people like yourselves to show you what we've done and how you can adopt similar approaches. And there's going to be other things we don't know that you're adopting as well. Educate around LinkedIn documents. So this is the other third aspect where LinkedIn gives you an opportunity to put in documents. So what they are is you can embed, as you can see there, I listen to podcasts, and when I listen to those podcasts, what I might call pseudo mind map. It's more like a doodle. My kids look at it saying, Dad, it's only a doodle, it's not a mind map. But anyway, I try to mind map what I've learned and try to do a little diagrammatic expression of what I've listened to in a podcast. And I post it up there with the hashtag of the person of the podcast, the tag of the person of the podcast and the hashtag social selling, LinkedIn selling and so forth. And if you were to go to this, you'll see a little square box where you're able to click on it and download it as a PDF. So it becomes a downloadable document that people can have. Very useful for when you've got an infographic you want to share, or you've got a document, you've created a document you'd like to share for free with people. Very useful to do. Put a bit of a post, write something about it, put some hashtags in there and add it to your post and allow people to download it. And it tells you then when you go look at it later on, it tells you how many people have looked at it and then downloaded the particular PDF. Very, very good to do. And again, it's about sharing a particular artifact with your network. Hopefully those things have been useful to you. When you're educating, you need to share content. Now, not everyone can create content. everyone has got expertise, but they sometimes struggle to what is it that's out there that needs to be shared. Where can I find some content? Now, I use a couple of approaches. I subscribe to a couple of newsletters, and there they are from the social perspective, as a social selling perspective. That's what I'm into. So they're the ones I follow. I subscribe to these newsletters, and I get their newsletters, and these newsletters will have information, and they will have found some content. So I get these newsletters, and when I see some good content, I would click on that link and find that link on the web and then share that with my network. That's called curating. Just like a curator at a museum curates pieces of art for people to look at, I do a lot of curation of content that I come across and share with my network. And that's why I also use that curated content. There are also various sites you can go into. So you want to know what's popular at the moment, you can go to things like Right Relevance, Content Gems, or BuzzSumo. BuzzSumo is the biggest in the world. One of the biggest in the world, BuzzSumo, and they share a lot of content there. It's also good to look at those sites, see what content is available, and how that will support you and your brand and what you post on LinkedIn to share with your connections and followers. People see that. And you saw one of the recommendations before, it's about how Con is across the industry insights and he shares a lot of great content. I developed a reputation of being someone who's across the insights, across the trends, keeps a finger on the pulse. People don't have to do all the research to find what's relevant for them. They just go to Con's curated content. They can see the latest developments in X, Y, or Z. And that's something you can do whoever you are, whether you're in a dancing, whether you're a skills coach, whether you're into the pub meetings. Whatever you want to do, you can share a lot of content that way by finding the right people to connect with, find their content wherever you find it, and then just share it with your network. Again, you can do that on Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn. It is very, very powerful indeed, and it creates a persona that you'd be surprised of how people view that and how they go back to look at it again. We talked about video being very popular. Now, video on LinkedIn has become more and more popular. And during COVID, of course, we were all going crazy. I used to go out for a walk every now and again, and I created a hashtag called Cons Walk and Talk. You can actually still see them. They're all on LinkedIn. And I'd just go out and walk and get the phone and just talk to the phone, just about anything I felt like talking about. And I'd post them on LinkedIn. One, it was on topic in relation to some of the areas that I worked in. And two, it showed a different perspective to me. People saw me on video and were able to say, well, hey, this guy's a real person. Look at him. He's passionate. He's interesting. He's got a view to share, and it makes a lot of sense, or he's not making sense at all. Let's disagree with him, whatever the case may be. But when they see you on video in an animated format, it just hits home more about you and your brand and what you've got to offer. So video, please consider it. Whatever you do, very, very good. It's becoming very, very popular. And remember, there is a dearth of content out there. People are looking for content. You need to start creating that content. Only 1% of creating content. If you create video content, the other thing it does too, by the way, is when people are looking through their feed, it makes them stop and look. Oh, there's a video there. It's called pattern interrupt. So by pattern interrupting an individual, they will stop and look. And if you create a video, try to also create captions that go with the video, because I read a stat, I think it was about 70 to 80% of people view videos in a busy environment or with the volume down, and they love to read the caption, but they love to see the video. So have captions with the video, because it supports that individual who's in a busy environment on the train or could be somewhere else, and they just want to look at the video, but they just can't listen at that time. It's really handy for them to be able to read along as you're talking. Again, always go to creating that perception. And by that mean by perception, that brand perception of who you are. One thing you probably noticed more recently is polls. Now, polls are also a very good way of getting engagement. If you're looking to get some engagement, you're just lacking in getting some engagement on your posts and some traction, create a poll. Trust me, you'll get some engagement. Every poll I've ever seen always gets at least 20, 30, 40, 50 votes, depending on who you are and what kind of influence you have. And polls are also a good way in doing a number of things. Let's say you're looking to develop a course or you're looking to develop some offering, but you don't know what the gap in the market is. Polls are a good way of gathering that intelligence to identify what is the gap. Looking to develop a new leadership course for emerging leaders. What is one thing that you think needs to be in this course? And just create a poll and put 3 options, and they can identify one. And also give them an opportunity. In the comments, please elaborate. And you'll find people will vote, and some will also elaborate. That way you start gathering some intelligence about what the emerging leaders course should be about. I'm looking to provide dance lessons to not-for-profit organisations. What dance would be suitable for such organisations, e.g. aged care homes or e.g. schools? Salsa, whatever, sorry, I don't know about my dancing, but salsa, samba, whatever else. Give them a couple of options. Start gathering some intelligence of what people would like to see from you. It's a great way of gathering intelligence. But it's also a great way of sensing what people are feeling or thinking about a particular topic. So polls are very powerful in getting, 1, traction and engagement on your profile, and 2, identifying gaps that may exist in your particular area or your market that you can address via your offerings. I have a bit of a break there. Let's have a look and see. Thanks, Graham, for that feedback. Yep, good. Look, guys, I know I've got a lot of content to go through, so I'm powering through. So hopefully a lot of this is making sense. You can start thinking how you can adopt it in other platforms if you're looking for other platforms. But this is stuff that I've done and I've seen success out of, and others. And mind you, I do a lot of observation. It's not about me. It's what I've observed has worked for others as well. And the stuff I'm sharing with you has worked for a lot of people. And that's why I wanted to share it with you as well. One thing you would notice too, if you're on LinkedIn on the mobile app, you have the opportunity to do LinkedIn stories. Now, LinkedIn stories are that video component we talked about. Now, this is only available on the mobile app, and you press on that plus, the audio profile, you press on the plus button, and you hold it down, you create a video story. Give it a go. I've done a few. Some work well, some don't, but it's a matter of trying out these things. Again, it's free real estate that LinkedIn provides. Get into it, give it a go. You never know what happens. Combine a video story, with a post, and you get more traction. They are very, very powerful to use and very good in, again, showing who you are in an animated format. They're short mini video clips. They allow you to give insight into your day. Some people use to say, I'm just about to start my day. This is what's ahead of me. What's ahead for your day? And you can comment on them too. So it's showing a different side of yourself too. Make them engaging and make them customer focused. Hi, today we're launching our brand new product, XYZ. Look forward to seeing everyone come along to this launch. It's about promoting something. Or, hi, don't forget, guys, webinar on tonight, 7 o'clock. Be there. The link is in the post below. So it's quick, it's simple, it's to the point, it's alerting, it's advising. It's very good, again, because people go look at those on their mobile app and they can see you talking, or they might see an infographic of some sort promoting your particular business or your offering. Now, adding value. And this is about being a thought leader. And I wanted to share with you some stuff I really recently found. There was a report done in 2020 by LinkedIn Edelman Group on the Thought Leadership Impact Study. This is very interesting. I think it's important to remember this. 38% of decision makers say that sometimes after reading Thought Leadership, their respect and admiration for an organization or individual has decreased. So this is where it's important to add value in whatever you do. When people read your content, they need to see that they're getting some value. 27% of decision makers say that sometimes reading a thought leadership content has led them to not award a business or an organization their business. It's about providing content which is relevant and suitable, but also that makes a difference, adds value. Just read you one more stat that I saw on this, which I thought was really good. 15% of decision makers said most of the thought leadership they read is very good or excellent. Only 15%. There is that other 85% out there who are finding that their content they're reading is not of great value. So when you're adding value and you're sharing content, either curated and provide a perspective, or created and make sure it's coming from the perspective of the buyer or the individual you're targeting. Make sure it's adding some value. Don't just make it promotional. And make sure there is some sort of call to action there for them. Click here to download this. Click here to go to my website. Or click here to book a demo. Click here for a 30-minute free consultation. But make sure that whole content piece is adding value. You're sharing with them something you've done, a success story, sharing them an article you've recently read and your perspective of that article. It's all about adding value. And when you're adding value, it's important that you keep this in mind. 80% is value add and 20% is promotional. So 20% is that hard sell. Please click here to buy our latest product. Whereas the other 8% should be about the latest product, but what are the benefits of this product? What success have other people had in using this product? What are some of the return on investments people have acquired as a result of using this product? What's been the impact of this product? Add some value. Who else has used this product? What's been some research on this product? And the other 20% should be about promoting and hard selling. So people say to me, well, Con, how do I create viral content? So how do I get this content to become viral out there? Well, you need to use a couple of tactics. Now, when you're creating some content, people love storytelling. Tell a story. Tell a story about yourself. Tell a story about how you've impacted a place you've worked at. A story of a challenge and how you overcame that challenge always wins people's hearts. The other way you can get viral content is look at industry trends and hot topics. Do some research, find some industry trends and hot topics, and talk about them. Talk about how you are across them and how you are addressing them or how you are applying them. Find a controversial topic or talking point. Whatever it might be in your industry, find something that's controversial and provide a perspective. Take a stand. If you don't want to take a stand, provide then the two perspectives of that particular topic that's controversial. You can see one side of it and you can also see the other side of it. Look for trending topics. Remember we talked about hashtags. Do a search on some hashtags and find how much they're trending, how popular they are. And use those hashtags to create some content for yourself. And use that particular hashtag because it's popular, people will see your post as well. So piggyback on some influencers and what hashtags they're using and use similar hashtags in your posts. No one owns a hashtag. Hashtags are there for everyone to use. Whether Kardashian's got it, whether Con's got it, I don't care. A hashtag's there for anyone to use. No one owns it. I piggyback on other people's hashtags all the time when I want to get a point across. It's about using that to get some traction and some awareness for what you do. We talked about polls. As part of polls, when you offer value, ask for some thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Anyone else doing this? Has anyone adopted this? Are you looking forward to this new change? Try to create a debate. Try to create an opinion. Posts that do very well are ones that are controversial to some extent, but also they have a lot of thoughts and opinions and debate around them. And no one's right. And don't get into an arguing debate on LinkedIn. Let them share their views. Just sit there and watch. Once you create the post and people start commenting, I just sit back and just watch and love it. Because the more they're interacting and the more they're offering opinions, the more other people are seeing it. The more other people see it. I created a post last year, which I was amazed at. It was over that COVID thing and about wearing the masks at the Bunnings and that Karen lady who came in. And I said, congratulations on the Bunnings staff. Put the hashtag Bunnings. for, addressing this issue in a very effective manner. I've got over, I think, 50, 60,000 views. I couldn't believe it. Got over 50, 60,000 views. Sorry about the phone. I should have put it on silent. Because one or two people got on, then other people started commenting, and other people started commenting. It was a controversial issue. It just went bonkers. By getting those views, I also got a couple of thousand, about 500 connections, close to 1,000, 500, 1,000, somewhere in there was, of new connections as a result of all those views and opinions. So it can work for you just by creating some sort of controversy and opinion out there. Now, when it comes to content, here's some branding tips that we need to be aware of. And one of the biggest branding tips of all is, and I say this is, if you take anything away from today, it's two things: present and consistent. Whatever platform you're utilizing, and especially LinkedIn, make sure you're present and make sure you're consistent. Present is about having a profile, and a very strong profile, and engaging. Consistent is about creating content, sharing content, curating content, interacting, commenting, sharing. Those two things are going to put you in good stead when you're looking to create that brand and develop conversations with people to take offline for potential leads and sales. Present and consistent. You need to let people know that you're just not a person who's looking for sales here, that you do have emotions. You need to write that you're more than just a salesperson. You have a view, a perspective on other things. Write consistent content. Don't confuse them too much about who you are, what you do, and how you help people. I know we all have a few niches and we want to focus on that. Try to stay consistent into what you do and be seen in your industry or the area you work in. So if you're working in the dance industry, be seen in that industry. If you're working in the leadership and coaching industry, be seen in that industry. Whatever industry you're in, be seen by using the relevant hashtags, by connecting with the relevant people in those industries. Okay, we're nearly there. Now we talked about social selling index. Here we talk about those 4 pillars. Well, LinkedIn rates those 4 pillars in some sort of way, and it provides you with a score. Now, everyone can look at that score. All you've got to do is just take that hashtag, and it's simple to remember. Just your linkedin.com/sales/SSI. Put in the URL. It will ask you to log into LinkedIn, and once you do that, your SSI score will come up. Now, this is to be a premium feature. It's now available to everyone. So it's no longer a premium feature. What it does is it gives you a score. Now, LinkedIn has changed the algorithm quite a bit. I did manage to get to 95, and I'm not going to get there again because they've become a bit more different in the algorithm. I don't know what they've done, but it's hard to get there now. I do range around the 70 to 80 mark most times. But the beauty is it also tells you over here some information about where you rank. Now, guys, this is not going to bring in sales, but this gives you a perspective. It's another metric that LinkedIn gives you in order to be able to judge for yourself how well you're doing on the platform. And that's all it is. It's not going to give you the sales. It doesn't mean you're the top salesperson or you are number one sales in Australia. What it does, it just means that you're using LinkedIn effectively, and that's the areas you can improve on. Excuse me. Just have a drink of water. What I'm proud about is this 1% in the industry SSI. So in the industry that I've identified as, I was top 1%. In the team, well, I didn't have much of a team. It was only a team of me, so that's all right. I top 2% of the network. So the people that I connected with and follow, I was top 2%. So they're the things I look at and say, how am I compared to others? Because if I'm not up there with the rest of them, that means my brand is not as strong as others in my industry and or my network. Because I do network with quite a wide range of people and people in my same industry as myself who also do using LinkedIn in a very similar manner that I am at the moment. So have a look at that, see what you get out of it. Like I said, it's not going to get you sales, but it's going to give you a perspective of how you're using the platform. Okay, so we're coming towards the end. What I've done is, if you go to that particular website, and that should be, I don't know if I can put in the chat. Let me see if I can put in the chat there. Hold on a second. I'll see if I can get the. I can't get it. That's right. Okay. Anyway, it should be there. When you get the replay, you'll be able to see it again. If you're quick in writing it down now, you click there. There's a 2-pager there that I've created. It's nothing. Look, it's nothing special, but it's a good checklist to have, and also covers some of those LinkedIn profile tips that I gave earlier on in a very succinct manner. So it's good to have it as a backup. But again, the replay of this webinar will help you a lot more. If you go to the particular site, all you got to do is put your email address and your name. Okay, you'll go into my database. If you don't want to, you can unsubscribe straight away. There's no problem there at all. And I'm very honest and frank about what it does. Yes, it puts you into a database. Or when you get that email and you click on the download and you want to unsubscribe, just click on unsubscribe and you're out of the database straight away. No problem, no questions asked. All the way, just the way that the particular link I'm using, the particular platform I'm using, works that way. No problem at all if you want to unsubscribe. And I don't send out much anyway, because I'm now in a permanent role. I don't send much out. So if you are subscribed, you're not going to get many newsletters from Con, trust me. Okay. It's just an offer that I've got there that you might want to tap into and get that 2-page tip sheet that I've got to offer. So we've got about a half an hour left. I'm now going to go into the chat. We've covered quite a bit of information. Anyone got any questions? Okay. I'm going to scroll down a bit, see what I've missed, all right? Okay, let's see if I go. You've got this on LinkedIn, your voice. You couldn't find the voice record next to my name. Oh, let me just have a look at that. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to try to, I'll stop this and see. I'll stop the presentation and I'll go into that voice recording there and share the screen. So you can see it there. There it is there.
Con Sotidis, LinkedIn social selling warrior and exceptional business development manager.
Okay, so hopefully you heard that. Oops. Oh, now turn screen share off. Sorry, Francisco, I did anything wrong there. And how do I go back? How do I go back to the presentation? Slides. Here we go, and start the presentation. There we go. Yep, there we are. Okay, so that's how you got into that particular. So hopefully you saw that. It's on your profile, but not on my profile. Oh, okay. So it's on your profile because you've got to do it on your mobile phone. You've got to go to your mobile phone. When you go to your mobile phone, open up the app on your mobile phone, you'll see it there. So you create it on your mobile phone, then it goes across onto your desktop. Hope that helps you, Mary Louise. Yeah. So get your mobile phone, download LinkedIn on mobile phone, log in, and you'll see it there, create, and then you create on your mobile phone, and then it'll appear on your desktop. Loving the tips about content. Thanks, Brooke. I hope you got something out of that. Yeah, Stories is available only on mobile apps. So if you go to your LinkedIn profile, you won't see it. But if you go to your mobile app of LinkedIn, I don't know if I can show you on mine. You'll see there they are on the top there. See in the top half? There's people that have already created stories. There you are. Thanks, Delise. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That's right. Okay, good. Yes, please, guys, share your LinkedIn profiles there. It'd be great to connect with other people. I'm going to click on that now, mate, and I'm going to get you up there on my... Thank you very much, Rod. Sorry, I appreciate that. Looking forward to the replay to visit ideas. I missed one. Yeah. Sorry, I do go through a lot of ideas, Isabel. So sorry, I was a bit fast. And I had a lot to cover. So apologize a bit fast, guys. But please tap into the replay. Go back to the replay, watch it again, and get me on LinkedIn. Happy to share more about what I talked about. If something didn't make sense or you didn't know what I did, follow me on LinkedIn, get me on LinkedIn, send me a connection request, and happy to have a conversation. No problem at all. Yeah, the SSI score is very useful. Like I said, Carol, use it with caution, but it's good to see how you're performing on the platform as what you're doing right and maybe areas you need to improve in. Okay, I don't know if I'm missing it. Yep, okay, good. Thank you, Mary Louise. Magnificent. Okay, here we are. Some more links, guys, for you to tap into. Great. Please share those links. Mary Louise. Thank you. We've got Delise it. Thank you very much. Good. Yep. Like I said, a lot of this stuff you will probably do on Facebook too. It does operate in a very similar manner with relation to hashtags and in relation to content curation and so forth. I think they do apply. But it's some of the stuff that I've done, I've seen some success. But importantly, the things I want to emphasize with you is those things we talked about, which is connecting the right way. I start off by talking about how there is a lot of those connection requests we're currently getting, which are really, really disappointing. If someone doesn't look at your profile that sends you a connection request, that means they're not interested in you at all. So what you do is once you get a connection request for someone, make sure you go and see who's looked at your profile. If they've looked at your profile, at least they're interested in seeing your profile. Because some of them just get a bot that does it for them and just sends you these automatic connection requests. For me, LinkedIn is all about personalization. I don't use automation. Yes, it takes a lot more effort. Yes, it takes a lot more energy. But I believe a personal message goes a long way. Automation for me is not the way to go on LinkedIn. It's about authenticity. It's about presence and consistency. But it's about showing your true self. And automation does not do that. So focus on that and you'll go a long way in connecting with the right people. And like I showed you earlier on, share about something you've seen about them. Use some social triggers. What you've heard about them, what you've seen about them, what they wrote on LinkedIn. I love that content you shared, George. It was really good. I love to connect with you because I really found your stuff very informative. And I'm hoping you find some of the stuff that I'm doing very useful and informative. Be open. Show some authenticity and you'll find that people will connect with you. Thanks, Brooke. No worries. Can we look at who's looked? You can look at who's looked at your profile, Mary Louise, but only I think the last 5, I believe, or so forth. I've got navigators, so I can see all of them, but the last 5, I believe, you can see who's looked at your profile. Doesn't give you as much. So, which only means you go in on a more regular basis, because after that, you'll lose it. So if they go in every day, look at your profile, just go in more regular and see who's looked at your profile. But even the free, look, a lot of the free stuff is really good. I've got Sales Navigator because, A, it's my business, and I want to make sure that I do well in my business development career. But also the free version does a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff I showed you is all in the free version. There's nothing there that's in Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator gives you a bit more opportunity to do some lead generation in emails and so forth. You don't get as many in the free version, but it's all there for you to do in the free version, and you get great value. If you always want to look to see what the other versions do offer, go on and sign up for the free trial and just cancel after 30 days. What I've seen a lot of people do is they get the Sales Navigator, they milk it for what they can for those 30 days, get everything they want out of it, download, connect, get some lead generation out of it, and then just cancel a subscription. You get 30 days. And then 3-4 months later, do it again. There's nothing wrong. LinkedIn doesn't care. As long as you're getting what you want out of it, you might as well use what's available to you. Again, the free version is very good. There's a premium version. I wouldn't go for the premium version. I would go for the Sales Navigator version. The premium version doesn't give you all that much compared to what Sales Navigator would do. And Sales Navigator is a bit cheaper than the premium version. There's also a recruiter version, which is for obviously recruiters. That's my opinion anyway. Like I said, you'll hear a lot of opinions about LinkedIn. There's a lot of so-called gurus. And guys, Con is not a guru. Con is just sharing what he's done and some success he's had on the platform that has seen him succeed in his career and obtain new opportunities. You'll see a lot of gurus on LinkedIn. There's a lot of people you should follow, but always say, buyer beware. Either give you some advice, take it on board, see if it works for you, see if it works for others. apply for a while, and then you determine whether it's suitable for your people, your connections, your followers, and so forth. It's always about trying it out, but always be aware of what's out there and what people are advocating. Okay, any other questions? Hope you've enjoyed it. I had a small group here, which is really good. Hopefully people get to see the replay. Okay, guys, so I'll wrap it up there. Let's just go to the slides. That's me. That's where you can find me. I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for all the questions. Hopefully you got something out of today, and when you watch the replay, you'll get even more out of it. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Happy to continue the conversations. And until next time, I wish you all the luck in the world on social selling. Remember, social selling is an art form that once you master, you'll see some benefits for you going forward. On that note, I'll leave you with it. Thank you very much, everyone. Francisco, I'll have it over to you and we can close the session down, and take care, and we'll talk soon.